Jesus said, everyone who hears these words of mine and does not do them will be like a foolish man who built his house on the sand. And the rain fell, and the floods came, and the winds blew and beat against that house, and it fell, and great was the fall of it. You know, how many of us have heard that song, "A foolish man built his house upon the sand," and when the rains come, the floods came, and beat against that house, it went splat. Well, that's generally when we think about it being over. But what happens when sand and rain and flood waters come together? It literally deposits a silt, a sediment into the waterway to the point that it becomes a swamp. It becomes a mire, and it needs to be dredged. That's what's happening to this lake at this moment. It is in the process of taking that silt, that sediment that has been deposited at the bottom of this lake, so that it doesn't become a mire, so that it doesn't become a swamp. When we build our house on the sand, on any words other than what Jesus said, then we too will fall into a miry clay, and we need to be dredged by God. In fact, this is what David said. He said, "I waited patiently for the Lord. He inclined to me and heard my cry. He drew me up from the pit of destruction, out of the miry bog, out of the miry clay. And he set my feet upon a rock, making my steps secure." When we live according to God's word, we will be established firm on that rock. And that's what Jesus said, all who hear these words of mine and do them will be like a wise man who built his house upon the rock. Maybe you'll come in contact with someone today who is stuck in a miry clay. They need to be dredged. They need your encouragement to help them out of that mire. The way you can begin that process, be kind.